Hi, morning. I need to calm down a bit. Very kanchong. 6:15, I'm still in Ipoh. uh, the online, um, this is the screen they see, or they won't see me, right? Or they see me also. So if I don't want them to see, I don't see here. Okay. Sorry, a massive gang, massive accident, but just in time. Good. Um, I have close to 180 slides. Yeah, 3 hours, right? I was told need to speak 3 hours, so I prepare more slides. Simple. I don't have big clock. I will drop very slowly, despite very kanchong. Change the title a little bit. Architect 2 slides last minute. Just finished a slide yesterday. In fact, just now I was still amending the slides. The art of designing green envelope, I think, would be a better choice because facade is just a facade. We design sometimes the roof is part of the facade part of the roof. So I think envelope is a better words. Okay. For us, we very picky, but for outside people, they don't know. But all architects here, right? No other all architects, right? Okay. So don't worry. I won't hantam architect today. Only hantam engineer. Okay. The the presentations divided into 7 parts. Okay. Obviously, we will concentrate on the item number 4 and number 5 because I'm using the infrared, but the online people can't see the first one is green building GBI versus green RE comparison. Later I'll tell you why we need to do that. Then of course green building in Malaysia expectation, the green facade, and then the green roof together. They call it the green envelope. And then we'll talk about the ECA and the latest GBI requirement, silver and gold green renewable energy. RE. This RE not related to this RE. Different RE. Of course, MPPP requirement. So this is just a general outline. If you need to go toilet, need to break, need to smoke, need to sleep, go ahead. Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay, let's do the first part. A very general. I saw some familiar faces, but also I see a lot of non-familiar faces. So I think vice versa. I'm pretty new in Penang. Even though I come every year, but I come here for durian actually. And while I'm eating durian, I drop by to PAM and give some talk. No, the ballet actually. Every year we have PAM Northern Chapter gracefully invite me. The last year I was here, and at the same time I eat durian. So thank you for PAM Northern Chapter for inviting this year as well to give me a chance to makan. This is the company organization. I thought let's have a quick intro of ourselves. The group of companies called the Big Green Riverstone Elite. They have Pavilion Elite. We have Starbucks Signature. So it's the elite. Of course, it consists of 2 companies, the Big Green Associates, which is the green consultant firms, which is dealing with the operation carbon. And of course, the Riverstone, the arm, which is dealing with embodied energy, which is the carbon total, the embodied and the operation is the life cycle carbon. So the company actually do a carbon auditing to scope 1, scope 2, scope 3, and other stuff. So Riverstone arm actually doing the carbon auditing for IJM. Okay. The operation side, which is where everyone here more familiar, is the operation carbon. Operation is operation energy Your TNB bill precisely on the TNB bill So we are more on here. Even though part of us when we design, we do specification for our material, they actually have a great impact on the embodied energy and embodied carbon. But today we are only concentrate on here lah. Of course, supported by engineer firm and architect firm, and all supported by CNS, QS, and landscape. So it's a total solution. If you go to our office, it's all under one roof. It's not a collective. It's under one roof. So you come in, you see everyone. Okay. We close to around 40 people in our office, which is doing this. Different divisions, architecture, M&E, and doing. So this is the logo, and of course this slides introduced me as mentioned, was in the PAM Council, was in GBI, AP was correct, not wrongly speak, was is in MTBC, currently still here, and of course GBI facilitator and Green Mark AP, not Green RE AP, because they accept Green Mark, so it's okay. Singapore, yeah. And my crest, so we call it the big three lah. My crest is the JKR, the government. If you do government building, you need to do this because we are doing some government building, so we have to do this. But the good thing is we actually, I think, combine these two. So these are the big three in this Green RE, of course, not here, because I'm just introducing myself and my crest. Architectural part, these are some traditional. I think more important is this, because today we are here on the green part. Some awards in the National Energy Award. Some awards need to pay to get award. This one, that they actually pay us, they actually pay the winners. Healthy amount, I think the winner is 20,000 or 30,000. Don't remember. The second runners up, the first runner up, second runners up 15,000. Also don't remember. I got their price. So and of course the ASEAN award and the Asia Pacific, which is inclusive the Japan, Asia. So we are the winners. We were the winners. And of course, we represent Malaysia to the Asia Pacific Award. Didn't win, but at least we won the last first two. So in 2022, these are some of the awards that we won in Malaysia DBC, National Award and ASEAN Award. In National, we were the winners and second runners up. The same building went to ASEAN and the winner and second runners up. Very fortunate, 2023, we repeat the same. We were also the winner in NEA and also the winner in ASEAN. And to date, we are the only green consultant that win back to back. They are actually consultants that win before, but we are the only one win back to back. This year, we have four results pending from MDBC, 3 from NEA. We were told that 3 actually represent Malaysia to ASEAN. So we are hopeful this year we have more. If we do win, that we create another history to be the first green consultant to win back-to-back national champion 3 times and back-to-back ASEAN 3 times. If we win, kalau boleh lah. Which building can sell? No lah, I think better lah. If we announce if not, if kalah, then just be quiet long. Anyway, the last 4 years, 3 years was pretty good. Okay, these are the teams that went for the dinner, 10 of them, and we call ourselves Ghostbusters. Why Ghostbusters? I'll explain to you later. Okay, Green RE versus GBI. Don't worry. I'm not gonna kutuk any one of them. Don't worry. Very sensitive online lagi, susah, But I think more important is, I'm not representing GBI today, because I was in the GBI, WAS. So I'm not representing them, so I'm not promoting them. At the same time, I'm not promoting RE or kutuk each other. No. I think what whole idea is, because of this, you're all very familiar with this letter, a very famous letter flying around in social media, very famous. in this letter, it actually mentions mengiktiraf GBI pada tahap gold and silver. You guys know more than me lah. But I was told that can actually GPI or equivalent. In this case, is either GPI, my crest or green RE lah. But the big two tyco is GPI and green RE lah. For you guys to recommend to your client, or when the client insists of 1, 2, at least on your side, you agak-agak knows, you knows what are the differences so that you know lah. Okay. No issue lah. Whether it's green certificate, green RE, GBI, is a good move by MPPP. Good move. So today my job here is to, in general, highlight what are the differences, what are the strengths and weaknesses. Then you guys at least aware. Then when the client let you know what they prefer, then you can tell them, actually like that, or you can actually advise. Okay. Don't worry, not kutuk anyone, don't worry. Green building and GBI and green RE. In general, I will go touch 1 to E, A to E. F, I put it blank later. So, okay, the slides is already in the Penn Northern chapter. It's fully all distributed. Don't worry, all distributed. Don't worry, already given, already in their computer. So don't worry. Okay, I will go through A to E, and then of course F, I'll explain. Very technical. F, so take note lah. First, I will go through based on what I hear and what they say. Okay, and from there, what I understand and what I interpret. Very important, This sentence very important, So as I said, I'm not citing one of them. Ownerships. Ownerships is PAM, a GBI actually owns by PAM and SEM. Everybody knows that. 60-40, 60-40. And REDA, sorry, green RE actually by REDA. Okay. Fundamentally, no issue because both are Sandrian Bahat. Okay, both are a company that make money lah. Sure. You make money, then you need to make money lah. The difference here is on this part, they are saying that there are conflicts of interest where the green RE is actually owned by REDA. How the conflict of interest? Because in the construction industry, good, everybody here is architect, so it's very easy to understand. The certification is on our side. Once we issue a certificate, the VP can go in after VP. So we hold the V means architect, not GBI. We hold the impartiality of certifying a building whether it's safe to be vacant. VP, CCC. So with that concept, hence actually appoint GPI AP, the AP, the accreditational panel, which I was in the team. So because it's appointed, so it actually holds the same architects' roles and responsibility. And of course, they have a disciplinary board. Should the person who appointed by PAN did any mistakes that requires some actions. Okay, so in this case, there are check and balance between the organizations, where this is what the PBS mentions that green RE, because of the lack of this, they may have conflict interest because it was owned by the board of associations for the developers for housing and actually certifying part of it is actually for housing. Possible of conflict interest. Of course, they have panels, advisory panels. I do not know how they works, so they could have addressed this issue. No idea. Second is very important. GBI is actually localized because when GBI was developed 14 years ago, there isn't any tropical tools around this region except Brima. And so what they do is they actually localize. They went to a few places to study, and they localize the tools based on the climate, resources, and priority. What is good and meant for Malaysia? Whereas Green Island is actually partially localized. Why partially? They did localize the tools because they actually derive from Brima. Everybody knows that. And it partially localized because majority of the items, they actually changed to MS standard, the local standards. They have done that. But they actually one or two, they are still haven't. They're still using EI calculation, for example, and IETV, for example, which, so I said partially, but actually majority already have already transferred to local. So, but this is derived. So they more or less copy, and then they will change a little bit here and there, and they localize. They add some local as well to get it. Whereas GBI is mainly developed based on the climate, resources, and priority. The fundamental difference is at that time when GBI developed the residential tool. I'll start with residential tool first. The points allocation was very, very, very different from the rest of the developed tools that they actually saw. It is LEED, Green Star, and all this. The points are heavily given for SM, which is the site management, which is part of it for connectivities to amenities and transportation. The reason is why? Boleh. No other, but in KL at that time don't have. Now MRT3 is building. So everybody knows that transportation in the city is an issue, especially KL, very, very jam. That's one thing. The second thing is, if you look into the, that's one thing. So I stick further away from the speaker. Better? Huh? Sit down. I'll continue lah, because maybe someone want to see me. Okay. Okay. If you look at the energy use, household energy use in general, your electricity bill for a terrace house or a condo in general, lebih kurang 1-200 lah. Lebih kurang lah. Your petrol bill, thank you. Thank you. Your energy bill, your TNB bill, depends whether you either aircon or aircon. But in general, people have aircon. They on the aircon during season, during the hot season, which 1-200, correct? Your TNB bill, your electric TNB bill, but your petrol bill, I don't know how much you drive lah. My petrol bill is around probably 200 per car. If you have a household of 2 people or 3 people, then you have 2 cars, your petrol bill could be 300-400. But your TNB bill is only 1-200. Your petrol is actually double than the energy bill of your TNB a month. That's a lot. Okay. So what GBI at that time looked at, well, we have to look at in totality, what is the issue of the energy. You consider household energy, household payment. Then petrol, the car usage is actually part of the tools, okay, which green mark, not, I didn't say green RE, green mark at that time didn't consider because no need to consider. In Singapore, everywhere is connected, no issue. So to them, just give 1 point, no issue. But in Malaysia, there is this that we need to address. So massive points are given into this so that to balance the energy usage. And a massive 8 points is given for transportation, 4 points is given to amenities nearby. Big hoo-ha at that time. Wow, big hoo-ha. I reserve for comment later. I'll show you later. Why they are so big hoo-ha? People can't see the positive side. So this is the statistics. I'm not gonna go through all these statistics. Too many words to see. I'll just go through the concept. Later you guys can have it and digest. So these are the 12 points that I mentioned. It's all in the notes. And without the car, let's say you take MRT every day, and then the energy usage is around 40% for aircon, which in this case, the design for the points allocation, 13 points is given for passive design in the hands of architects. This is more important what we can do. So 13 points are given for only designing the envelope. Okay, which I'll go through later how to do that. So 13 points and 12 points, total 25 points of 1/4 is given for this transport and passive design. Okay, that is in general. I'll go through in detail later. Whereas the NRNC, which is the non-residential, you see the points allocation more or less agak the same, except just now the site management, the residential a lot, right? But for commercials, most of the items are allocated given to energy, 35 points. Okay, because we know that for majority of the commercials, the bill is actually comes from the energy. Okay, we cannot double penalize and add transport. So let's say I go to work, my energy bill is already in residential, cannot be the same petrol bill goes to the double handling. So is that okay? It goes to the residential. So this one is pure on energy, which is the correct things to do. Because in residential, in Malaysia, not all residentials are fully aircon, fully used. Commercial, every day you fish, the moment the first person enter, on, last person off. So it better tackle the energy of this holding here. So the energy is heavily loaded here. That was the whole BEI, of course, is 15. So that was the initial concept of development of tools. So the RIC was heavily criticized at that time. Why so massive? Okay, I'll answer that later. Okay, localized based on local climate, resources, and priority, the MS standard. These are the things that follow. I'm sure you know this pretty much. Green RE did follow eventually. When it was first launched, some of them know, but eventually they have changed it. Third part, administrated. GBI says that their tools are actually administrated by Malaysia GBC and World GBCs. In general, this is in their website. Green RE has massive group of advisory panel. It does look impressive. The first time I saw it, I said, wow, really impressed. What they do, I don't know. I'm not in their panel, so I do not know. I really do not know. So it's not a positive statement, nor a negative statement, because I really don't know. So I cannot comment. But it does look impressive. How is the check and balance of this advisory panel? I don't know. But in the GBI side, is actually administrated by the World. So if you go to the World Green Building Council and you scroll down how many tools are there, if I'm not mistaken, the last check was 56. Okay. And out of these 56, Malaysia is one of them. Okay. GBI is one of them. Sorry, GBI is one of them. Okay. So that is on the first three. This part is the registration fees.
except mega project lah. Same sama from 5 to 45, from 5 to 45. But Green RE has 20% discount for members. That make it cheaper, slightly cheaper lah. Because I think they may not say it. I did not hear directly from Green RE, but a lot of people outside, they are saying that Green RE is cheaper and easier to get. Okay, a lot of people say that. This is one of the cheaper confirm because you have 20% discount. Okay, how to do the two cheaper could be also. I'll go through later. So in general, this is the amount, and is relatively cheaper 20% discount on registration. Certification, whether it's easier. This one get a little bit more technical. Those who are sleeping, it's time to wake up. Wake up. In GBI, points are located according to our core curriculum. You get an A, you get 86 points, you get an A, 50, you fail. SPM, SPPM level Okay, same based on local priority, culture, and priority so this sama passing rate 50%. No issue. Green RE slightly different. No? Green RE has the concept of buffet style, where there are plenty of points, and you can actually pick and choose what you want. And there's a cap of 115 and 120 for the IES is residential and RB is non-residential or commercial a very general term here. If you were to compare to the total points, this is the total points. So total point 15 something, 4 point something. You can actually cap at 11 something. So the points actually, you have 150 points to choose. Your points are actually 50 to pass. Same, So you have more buffet to choose for people who like to eat buffet, good plenty of choices, okay. And because after you choose upper U mount, upper U tak mount, then you cap at 115 for residential, 120 for non-residential. Not 100 because that is how our SPM and STPM works. Singapore different. I don't know. I didn't study a day before. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, there's a higher cap. The passing rate is 50. So that makes the passing rate slightly lower. Correct? Which make it slightly easier without going into detail. If we go to detail, the count can come home, I'll take 4 hours to explain only one items. So we're not talking about details, no detail. In general comparison, everything in general. So in general, the passing points are slightly lower. That makes them easier on paper because the passing rate is lower. Okay, without going into detail. Okay, so there are those people who promoting Green RE, saying that it's cheaper and easier. From these statistics and overview are correct. Okay, so I'm not here to hunt down them or to promote GPA or vice versa. I'm just selling facts. Okay, so possible, correct. That is on passing. Let's look at the detail, which is the blue color. To get 35, 43, and 41 up here. Let's go to the highest one. Platinum. To get platinum, we need 79 points. Okay. In GBI, it's gold. So Green RE platinum equal to GBI gold. On paper numbers comparison, yes. Without going to the detail. For non-residential, which is commercial, 75 points. Ooh. GB silver, Green RE silver, Green RE platinum is equal to GBI gold in terms of paper numbers in points. A lot of people listening. Have to be very careful. So, you see, when they say that GBI receiver, but if you are the owner, and I say, hey, GBI receiver, but and go green RE is platinum more. Yo, platinum more for girls, ladies like no platinum, silver, platinum much more expensive correct or not? That is the difference. So when NPPP says silver or gold, GBI, all green RE, oh, GBI handicap already on paper lah. On paper, because of the passing rate, I'm not talking about points, I'm talking about detail. I'm purely based on the points allocated. 90 looks a lot, right? 85, but 90, 120, 90, all the numbers are there, all the statistics are there. Don't worry, all distribute to everybody. Oh, yeah. Because 91, wow, look, higher than GBI. But 91 or 115, 91 or 120, correct. Is the base. So in this case, after I divide, if my calculator is correct, this should be correct. It should be, it cannot be Excel. So when an authorities, or in this case, MPPP says equivalent, it's not equivalent. Not from my perspective. Today I'm telling that my perspective comparing GBI again, it is not comparison apple to apple. Okay. You guys don't want to laugh. Next. I leave it to you guys. I'm here to do a comparison only. Don't quote me. You said the slide from someone like very handsome. That's all. From someone very handsome from KL Kaltim. They know it's me. Okay, next. Not that simple actually. That is on paper, but it's not that simple because in green RE there are more prerequisite and mandatory requirements. Okay, that is on paper. So on paper you put on paper, but there are actually a lot more prerequisite and requirement. So which means that in GBI there's only one, which is the 38A the OTTV and the OTTV roof yield value and other stuff One requirements are there. The rest you can still phase out between 100 but green RE has kept that, but they have a lot more. The blue color, they actually says that the energy part you need to have certain score. I'm not going to detail today and the non-energy part you have certain score, certain requirement that you need to meet. Okay, go through a little bit to get bronze only because if you to go for bronze, silver, plenty to write concept. To get bronze only, which is the lowest level, you need 100% aircon and ceiling dwelling to be Frontier Tenaga ST 3-star and above. Aircon need to be that. So if you don't have aircon, then you put it into your building user manual and sustainable maintenance guide so that the owner next time if they were to do, they have to install this aircon with 3 stars requirement. No cost implication, because if you were to apply, yes, if you were to do it, cost implication. But if you were to let it to the owner to purchase, which a lot of the cases, the medium low range, only the medium high and high end you provide aircon. If you don't, then you put in the requirement for the owner to buy. So there's no cost implication with that. Video user manual, you need to simple like a manual. I highlight in blue for a reason. I'll explain. Dua barang I utang haven't answer. I'll explain both. Calculation, no issue Calculation, no issue Proof yield value, ini pun ada. So in general, more or less the same. So the requirement, but prerequisite requirement for GPI green RE, okay. So that because the requirement for bronze lesser, I'm talking about bronze level and certified level, because it's less, not that a lot, and all can comply, no cost implication. The scoring point also lesser. In fact, green GBI has more mandatory requirement because they have an OTTV here. It doesn't have here. that makes green RE looks like a little bit cheap, easier. Okay. Next, this is for non-residential. In non-residential, you need to have a demonstrate a saving of 6% of energy. Okay, for non-residential. In GBI, BEI is optional. So you do not need to do it if you don't want. 6% calculation, 10% of water usage based on fittings, your WC and your sanitary requirement. Green pot ratio, certain percentage, pot ratio, green ratio of 1 to 2. Environmental recycle building X-ray, this is your fresh air. This is IEQ 1 in GBI. Calculation, aircon, OTTV, this one, wow, the list a lot more longer than GBI. So to get this bronze is actually a lot more kung fu that you need to do. Even though the scoring is actually looks easier, 40-something percent you can get already, right? But it's actually a lot more things to do. So on paper, this one may not able to see because a lot of people who actually approve the whether to use GBI or green RE is based on number of points. For 50/0100, cheaper jalan without knowing this. Okay, so there are more things inside. So because of so many requirements here, you can see that for correct. What you can see here is I did a F. This now is all a comparison, right? The F is for architects, very important. If you are not fully awake, it's time to fully awake now because this is purely for architect. This is very important. 39, 22, all these numbers has meaning one. I'll go through one by one. In GBI, those points where architects has influence or the power to change based on is 39 points. Okay. I'll go through it a little bit slower because that is your forte. The first one is OTTV. And the OTTV at 113 points. You know that? BUM, B-U-M. How come BUM is with us? BUM is the building user manual. Nothing to do with us. Correct? BUM is mandatory in green RE. So mandatory, which means that you already doing it. So if you want to compare apple to apple, you need to put a BUM here. Correct? Because it's mandatory over the other side, then you don't score point here. Not right. You're already doing that. So you need to compare apple to apple. So it's here. That's why it's blue color. Just now, so I answered one question now, why blue? Blue. Fresh air, our window opening. Daylight, window opening. External view, window opening. Sound insulation, what? Sandboard girl, just now the plank wall girl or brick wall, our decision. Heat island effect, whether the facade with green, okay, roof green, hardscape, what material to use, roof, what color to use, recycle bins. Why recycle bin 1 point? Because in green RE, during designing a refuse compartment with ventilations actually get points. So also apple to apple, but instead of 2 points is 1 because during construction they have 1 point. So I put 1 point. And innovation, I put innovation 12 because innovation up to you guys. You can actually score 7 based on passive design. How creative you guys are. So in total, 39 points are actually allocated for in architect hands, So the residential tools, RNC is actually 39 points in your hands. Very close to passing already. If my son had 39 points, I already very happy, even though fail. So 39 points for passive design in RNC. Why RNC, the residential tool? Because RNC tool sometimes have connectivities and all that stuff, right? For non-residential, commercial, you can get 22, lesser because the priority is given to energy. I put down this answer later also. So 3, I answer 1, now 2 again. So there are some blues here. These are the blues that are the prerequisite requirement mandatory requirement in Green RE. So at back, we got 22. And Green RE will have 37 and 39 and 32 and 49. I'll go back to this slides where you can see the summary. In summary, those architects' points that you can score on GBI is 39. Green RE, higher rise is 37. Landed is 39. Equal few ma? Who says that Green RE residential can score more passive point than GBI? If you don't look at the prerequisite, yes. But after you add up the prerequisite is equal, same playing field. Okay. For residential. For commercial, 32, 22. Oh, no. And that is for aircon. For non-aircon space, it's actually 49. See, more than that. But on GBI, they only concentrate on aircon space because we know that majority of our commercial area are aircon based on priority in Malaysia context. But there are resort that is non-aircon. There are clubhouse in non-aircon. What GBI did is they have a spin-off, these books for clubhouse and where the tools is slightly different. So today we are only talking about the main tools. But in this case, Green RE has the aircon and non-aircon. Non-aircon, massive 49%. Yes, correct. The architect play a lot more role here. Correct, agree. And 32, 22 also. But there are a lot of points here. These are aircon, green aircon, which may resulted a lower BEI. So in this, if I can score points on BEI because of mandatory, BEI 15 points. But for bronze, I don't think can get 15. The most you can get maybe is 5 or 8. Let's say 8 hypothesically. You add 8 points here. Equal playing field, 30. Even though you put a 5, you get 2 points for your thermal comfort. 7, also quite close, So in general, actually quite close, except for non-aircon, which is they are pretty impressive because a lot of points are given for natural ventilation. Agree. With these statistics, I ask you a question now. Would you be surprised that most of the residential developer goes to Green RE because relatively from here is slightly easier if they don't meet OTPV requirement. And because of the prerequisite, so many here, despite the lower part of the this is purely on architecture, it could be easier in GBI. Okay, let me show you the statistics. It's all about statistics. Based on GBI, based on March 31st, Green RE based on May 30th. Look at the red color only, the rest don't bother. Total certified GBI 692, Green RE 399. Cannot compare. Green RE developed much later. Not apple to apple comparison, not fair. Okay, so cannot compare, even though it looks a lot more lower. Okay, not interested in that. Interested in this. For residential, GBI is 35%. So, and versus the residential commercial is 51%. If you look at numbers, 204, 308, 350. For commercial, non-residential, it's a lot more compared to residential. Green RE for residential, 48%. For commercial is 23%. Why? Very important. If Green RE is really easier and cheaper, why all the commercial numbers go over there and why so low? It's not totally aircon. It's because in general, it's actually quite tough to go for non-residential to meet all the criteria and score If in this case, all mandatory requirements so much, whereas GBI is only one, the buffet style choose goes to GBI, because of they are forced to eat this or there's wonton mee, but I don't like wonton mee. How? There's only wonton there. Correct. The GBI only one scoop chili body only want eat low. So because of this, 36 cannot lie, right? Most of the projects that RE staggering 300 versus here 190 and 1/3 2/3 lah. I mean 1/3 2/3 lah, correct? All goes to residential. Tapi don't worry, I can PM you this. Yeah. All total, all campur. Oh, incorrect statement. Incorrect statement. The correct statement is they have the calculation in their tools. So it's mandatory for spring consultant like me to calculate. In GBI, it's not a requirement for us to calculate because when you reach GBI, GBI will calculate for you. It's in their summary. So both are there. One is in the report, one is derived by GBI. But the playing field is same, both are there. So it's an incorrect statement to say that one have, one don't have. Okay. Ada. If it goes to the GBI executive summary, there is a conversion from to CO2 emission. And they has been doing it for last 14 years. Every year, every year, they actually feed to the government. Okay, I will continue. Lot more people go out, we know already. Okay. Okay, one more question I haven't answered. Just now, when GBI was developed, having a transport close, you get 8 points. Having amenities close, get 4 points, 12 points. Oh, your handicap, I lost 4 points, I lost this. But from this statistics, it shows that the architects can actually score 39 without looking into the transport. The playing field is same. But if I add that in connectivity, your place is at the center of urban area with all the transportation and all the amenities. You pass already. Just architect can go to GBI and get passed already because it's 51%. Okay, without the ME engineer, now can go to the engineer. So because the connectivity has 12 points, 29 by 12, so a handicap becomes an opportunity now. If you are nearby, which is the intention where you build near the amenities, you build near the transport. If it's not, then you provide a shuttle. The whole idea is to reduce the carbon emission through transportation. So if you really very close to all these amenities, which is Penang, no issue, then you have a bonus point of 12, or lesser, depends how far you are. This is statistics in general, not going to detail. I have to emphasize this very much, because your bus stop 2 meters out or 20 meters out, then you score lost 1 point. That one is technical already. This is point possible. Possibility equal 51. And this one you get 1 point each because last time was 37, 2 points. You add 2 points, 2 points. Then the residential tools with passive design and connectivity is suddenly outpace Green. Whether that has brought to everybody's attention or not. Or just based on these statistics Okay. I'm here to share my information. Okay. But to be in the same level playing field is the percentage here you have to look back the total points. Green RE 62 points out of 159, you get 39.99. All these are actual figures here. Round up figure round up or round down depends whether the 5 year 5 or below 5. What does this 62 means? This 62 means they are way past, correct? They are passing 550. So not to say that 39 or 41, hey, fail. No, this is a number of points allocated that for passive and connectivity. So for passive connectivity, you get 51 points. It's actually 39 and 41. But because of their numbers of total buffet a lot, even though you put 39%, you already pass. Correct? Just like 40-something% pass now. Here, 30-something%, 62 already counting, no issue. Yeah, percentage, because it's percentage. So you need to see in totality. This slide, I want to show two things. The first one is GBI, the passive design, the connectivity may not be a handicap. It could be something useful, especially in Penang. Okay. Second one is on green RE, even though it's slightly lower here, but because of the numbers there, okay, this is bronze. This one tak boleh lah 46 but this one is actually a silver. Okay, so that could make it also easier if you want to argue that way. But to me, in general, the numbers here doesn't lie. Why people go to certain places. Whether it's mislead, I don't know. Okay, but these numbers are there for a reason. The residential, the non-residential are much more over there. The residential are much more over here. So these are the detail won't go through Detail won't go through. Okay. If you're confused, you know who to call Okay. Okay. By the way, we call ourselves Go-Busters. Okay. So you know who to call Okay. 10 minutes break. And we come back with a lot more to go. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's start. I have 130 slides to go. I've just completed 40. Don't worry. You know what to do? You just need to do this, you know, the cameraman. Then I'll work faster. Can start. Okay. Number 1 is introduction. Number 2 is the difference between green RE and GBI. In terms of overall view, I have to mention this one more time. Overall view, we're not going to detail. Let's see what Malaysians' expectation. Very different, very different. Just now we are looking at technical side, where consultant knows, clients knows, green facilitator knows, but the uncle doing the chai kway teow may not know all this, correct? They see green building very differently. Throughout the experience of 14 years doing this, many interviews, I interview orang not orang interview saya many we interview and see what are the things that we look for. There are 5 things that common layman people, auntie, uncles look at green building. Very important. Why? We are architects, we design something that people can see. If we design something that people, the auntie, uncle say, hey, what's so green about this? It means that we have failed our job. Because these are the things that people can see. Tak buka, is it? Very fast. I'll go through faster now. If I'm too fast, pull me back. Greenery. Definitely. What is green building without greenery? Concrete building, everything square, then you say green building. Auntie, uncle said no. Okay, we know lah, can be done. Green building, apple also green building. What green? Everything glass. Correct? Can be done. But auntie, uncle, Char said no, green building must have green. Painted green can. From 2 kilometers, you look, can. Once you can touch and feel, cannot. Okay, so in general, greenery, general, daylight. In Malaysia, every light bright 光芒永光in Chinese, English daylight. Okay. What is a building? You go, everything is so gloomy unless you design for intended for, then it's a different issue. But a normal rooms at auntie uncle stays, they wanted daylights. To them, daylight is something a green building should have. And of course, especially in Malaysia, plenty of daylight. If you're not harnessing the daylight a bit to do I don't want to use photo, but really we should. Solar PV. Surprisingly, a lot of people see solar PV as green building. No solar mean no green building. MPPV knew this now. Perception, as I said, auntie uncle, perception, no green PV at all, green. So the moment they see a PV panel, even though normal building, they'll say, oh, this is green building. Correct? Free auntie uncle, rainwater housing, same thing. Mandatory. So, but can see, here, greenery can see, can touch some more. Daylight can see, cannot touch. Solar PV can see, climb the roof, can touch. Rainwater, not see, cannot touch. Correct? Then how do you know? How do you know it's rainwater harvesting? Uncle cannot see. Right? But now water tank, they ask in this case, that this particular building, this whole thing is actually water tank inside, facing west. So it's actually using the water tank, heat the water tank, the heat, and from the water tank, the water already heat it goes into the toilet, which is the smaller windows. This is toilet, this toilet, this toilet. This is master bath toilet. So it's all based on preheated water go to the tank. And this one, what's this? 100 box up there. How to service? Not 100 box. This wetland. Floating wetland. When you do your sewage, all your VV things comes out, you actually filter using a landscape before it actually goes to a grey water tank down here before for individual. So it's not really Bodo. Okay, in general, rainwater housing, something that people can see and touch. Kalau boleh. Recycle bins, no recycle bins, what is green building? So these are the 5 things that auntie uncles will see. Very important. Just now it's all about technical. What score to get in order to get GBI gold or silver to meet authority requirement. But as an architect, I think we should concentrate more on this, even though rainwater housing is not our forte. Factoring green electrical simple, just a spec. I think we should, as an architect, to show what we can, so that people can appreciate. In general, the 5. Next, a bit technical, but I'll go through concept. The art of designing green building. I'll put it into this first. Statistics a lot of statistics today. In RNC, the GBI residential 13 points. In green RE residential 9 to 14, more or less there average. Commercial 1 point because it's concentrating on energy. Green RE 10 to 21. 21 is a lot, must say that. Okay, but in general, the residential is around 13. For commercial, for green RE is a little bit more than GPI, which is only 1 which is on it. But as I said, the percentage here, if you take the prerequisite requirement inside, this number will increase because it's apple to apple, which not today discussion to tambah because it talk about general. So this number can increase because of the prerequisite over here. Yeah, take note. So 13, 1, 14, 9, 14, 10, 21, agak-agak lah. Okay, case study. I'll go through the OTTV calculation. Concept, I won't use the detail, it's all concept. Using this project. Tati, you know this project? Okay, thanks, Donna. OTTV 44.65. You get GPI 2 points. I go for GPI because this building is GPI, so it's easier to relate. Not to say that one is more superior, it's just that coincidentally this building is GPI. So OTTV is 44.6. CVA got this building already completed. So got the point. So this is, I want to explain the building a little bit so that you know the concept. It's an L building. This part and this part is building single loaded GBI all your single product. So this side is all glass. This part is all corridor. I.e., this part is all walls. This part is all glass. Yeah, you can see all glass. So if you want to do a case study, I thought give all out full swing all glass building all glass building for residential next already right. For commercial building, all glass should be more or less the same all glass. So this is the worst case situation to give a concept of worst case situation. All glass over here, this over here, and the back is corridor. Okay. On paper, the window and wall ratio is 50-50. This side all glass, this side all white, all wall 50-50. Correct, on paper, but it's not because this part have wall. So the wall definitely more than window On paper, definitely I can see more walls here. Correct. Okay, because your beam and your slab, all that stuff and your corridor. Okay, so this is how it looks like. This is OTTV is 44.65. Okay, which is already gotten. And we'll go through strategy of using what and how. All concept. This is how it looks like. This is how it looks like. This is the cantilever. This is how it looks like. This is how it looks like. You are architects. One look, you know already. OTTV, this one, everybody knows. I won't repeat. I won't repeat all the technical thing. It's 3. Okay. The lower, the better. This is the butt with your fees. Your fees is the higher, the better. Correct? OTTV, the lower, the better. Ngam, the butt. Okay. So anything you see the numbers must be lower. Anything high, no good. Simple. So this is terms that academic coin to fool architect or scared architect. We use this easier. Shading, window, easier terms. So there are 3 parts over here, 2 parts over here, 1 part over here. Okay. 3 parts, 1 part, 2 parts. Go to one by one. Orientation. Simple nothing can be done. Orientation. But orientation, I say the lower the better. Everything the lower better. Opposite your fees. Facing north, the 0.9. Facing south, 0.9. Southwest, south north, 0.9. West, 0.92. East, 1 point something. East, 1.23. Very different from uncle believe that facing west no good. Until uncle tell you don't face west. But calculation, don't face east. Why? Cannot be the academician wrong and our MS standard wrong, right? Malaysian standard all koyak. Cannot be, right? There must be something they know that all the auntie uncle doesn't know, right? It's the exposure of the sun over during a long day. During the east, the sun starts to whack the facade over a long period where the heat, radiant heat all goes there, where the west belum sampai lagi. By the time it kena, the intense of heat that goes to the west is more on west. Agree. But in total, over one day, the heat that generates from the west east is definitely more. Anyway, we all architects, we know our east-west. So we're counting. Don't worry. Our east-west counting already. In this case, okay, this is how we calculate west. If it's directly north, counting, no issue. But if it's tilted, we based on 22 degree, 45, 22.5 northwest, northwest by west, northeast by east kind of thing lah. So whichever closer lah, all there, I'm not gonna go through. So Stoner, this is Stoner, this is KLCC, this is the Selangor Royal Club. I hope I can get the name correct. This one, facing west, Adui. But how? Facing west can sell 100,000 more. I spent 20,000 for shading devices. I still gain 80,000. But this is $1.10. Correct. Facing KLCC more. Then you cannot say tell developer cannot lah. What cannot? 100,000, one floor, 50 floors, how much, So we spend some money to treat the elevation. Okay, so fundamentally, view still come first. View still come first. Of course, this one facing south, so okay lah. So south and west lah. Hence, south and west, logic lah. This one no need to say anything lah. So in this case, next orientation, no choice. So this is the CVA. CVA means completion verification assessment, which means that completed cert given. This is the OTTV. Okay lah. So the second one is window and wall ratio. Full height you can see full height. Full height. The ratio is only 32%. Tipu ni. Sure, tipu cannot be lah. I don't lie. Don't worry. As I mentioned, 50-50, but the side elevation, this wall, this side elevation, also full wall. So, but this part is all glass. This part is all wall. This one also wall. This one also wall. This one also wall. And then the facade, then the walls here, then the beam, so at the end you calculate, you're correct, 32%. So it's a real lah. So what if full glass all side in? This is I use this example. I'll tell you why I use this example. There's 50% glass, 50% brick wall. I explain later lah. Utang one question lah. If it's all glass, then the ratio can go to 60 lah. Right. Then the glass is more important than the wall. Here is 50-50. Right. So you need to move your kung fu to the place that you need to solve. Right? So okay. So in this case, the window is all red color of full glass. What if? So if I don't use low E, I mean they actually go for low E option. The client wanted to have a 3 meter. This is 3 meter glass. A very nice view. If I don't use low E, I actually fail. Okay, in this particular case, the west facing and the south facing is all low E. Firstly, is the heat lah. So they want the comfort of doing heat. If you don't feel the heat lah, so you use low E lah. If I don't use E, it fails. So let's say I say no E. Low E is the most expensive solution. Correct? If I reduce my window and wall ratio by 15%, okay, in the wall 15% in general, actually reduce 20% for the window from 3 meter to 10 feet to 8 feet, 2.4. Because we are architects, so we know the numbers are not 2, 3, 8, 5, 2.4. Okay, so it's 20% reduction, 3 meter to 2.4, 20%. But in general, it's only 15 because the glass is lesser ratio. OTTV is 44.56. So by reducing the window 15%, can actually omit all the glass low E glass. Can the real example. These are all real calculations that we did, not for this lecture only, a real submission. So if full glass all round around 30 lah. So we have reduction of window from 10 feet to 8 feet lah. can actually help, you know. Okay, of course, the height reduce help, width reduce also help. It's all about concept, and this particular is full glass, everything is glass. So if I reduce, then the concept of coming in wall to wall glass, floor to ceiling glass, you compromise that lah. Whether they want to compromise that and opt for no low E, or go for low E and want that view. These are the things that architects need to know before the advice segment. Okay. Next, what if the effective WWR? 50-50. Effective, I really given the answer. Effectively 30. So that's why a lot of medium cost, low cost, if you go for 30, chances are you do not need to know. So the chances are you don't need low E. Okay, you need to understand strategy. Anything more than that, low E could come in. Depends what are the plan. Like in this case, they want a full view, wall to wall, ceiling to then low E come to place. Effective is around 30%. Can WWR more than 1 and less than 0? Cannot lah. They cannot have no glass and cannot have no wall. No wall, Apple building can or glass. But unlikely lah. There must be a building that has some walls and some glass. So it's very unlikely. Next, shading coefficient. This is very important. The first one, orientation, cannot do anything. Second one, where we can determine, we means architect can determine is what is the ratio of glass. 30, more or less touch and go can. Anything more than that, you need other kung fu. Anything less than 30, you need to meet your requirement of ventilation also. So you need to plan, you need to play around. Shading got SC got 1, 2, 3. Glass, shading device, sunscreen. I won't go through that in here. Glass, very important. Also, all these are all statistics. I highlight in red. Clear tempered glass, the SC is 0.9. No need to know the numbers. What you need to know, to lower the better. Okay, that's it. If it's a green tinted, drop 30%, you know. As simple as that. A lot of people don't see in comparison. If you see in comparison, it dropped 30%. It doesn't mean OTTV dropped in 30%. OTTV, there is window and wall ratio, orientation, these two, the rest I haven't touched. If A plus B plus C, so it's actually a unknown factor here. Go back to the 6. Unknown things. So one of them drop 30 doesn't mean the whole thing drop 30. So think lot. Okay. I didn't say that. So, but it's very important to see a clear to a green, 30% discount. So choose tinted. Your car all go tinted. Why do you need to go tinted? Of course, understand that's QS and developer. Our job here is make it green. Okay, today talk about green. Second one is green laminated. Once you plus, you know it's laminated. Uncle, auntie don't know, we know. Hey, it went up, I take note on that. I take note on that. Yeah. There's two options. Either I zoom or you sit closer. Or we meet halfway. sorry. Sorry. Concept. You disable the slides. Agree. My apology. Next time I'll do it bigger. Okay. Then they like go in 30% lesser. Okay. This one laminated suddenly go up. Why? Laminated should be better than float glass, right? No, actually it's because laminated one green only. They don't one is actually clear. Unless you specifically tell the glass people I want green and green. Usually they give only one. So when you have a float glass of green and a laminated green, even though specs are the green different, you know, because they usually only give one. If they give two, they're more expensive. So the moment you give one, thinner. lesser impact. Okay. Low E, of course, much better lah. Correct? See carefully, See carefully, Not much different. Why? Why? Because it's laminated. So you must see this and this. Must see the correct things, all the people in virtual cannot see my point, no choice all. Benefit of face to face, 0.56 to 0.7, actually there are significant difference, But if you compare to a 10 mm float glass tinted, not much leh. So you take a float glass 10 mm green versus a low E laminated 5 mm, more or less the same impact, caused a lot of difference, but impact same, you must have change everything in float glass, high rise cannot lah, high rise cannot lah, okay, but low rise can, 1-story bungalow, 2-story bungalow can lah. We might use low E. Correct? These are all statistics, all share lah. Don't worry, don't worry. Not everybody know how to catch a cold, Okay, next. Low E. This one low E more. This one more is because it's low E with an air gap. Did you of course much better. Did you much better. These are all the new product, silver lining product. Okay, more important is this graph is to show you that selection of class, ask them all the technical data. Okay, the lower the better. These are the reference for you to have a look. So agak-agak, hey, you don't fool me lah. I know this number. Double glazing, no? Double glazing, double glazing. Where's the air gap? The air gap here, double glazing 0.3, 0.2. If you compare to a float glass, 3 times better lah. My fault. Anyway, this will be distributed for all the architects because I have durian to eat. No. When double glazing, there's an air here. I put there's no air, means no lah. Silver lining. So it's a new product. Usually we know float, laminated, tempered, low E, right? This is a silver lining, a new stuff. Oh yeah. 6. Yeah. 10 mm is 0.28 equal to double glazing low E already. 6 mm 2735 already. Yep. Definitely. This is more expensive than low E. But it's anything new product like that. Eventually it will a little bit, doesn't more. But it's new product, we only know this year. Yeah. They said 20 years. All same. Paint also same, waterproofing also same, and carpet also same, light also same. There's no movement. So that's why you need to retrofit and all this stuff. So the film comes in. There are a lot of things that can be repaint. Everybody get over. I'm 50. Okay. I need to speed up, otherwise I cannot finish. I cannot eat durian. Okay, sorry lah. Okay, so that is glass. Shading devices, there are 3. The glass itself, the vertical and the horizontal. So I won't go through with this. I think that's two, very important. I won't go to calculation, but very important is the shading device must be, the shading device calculation is X over Y. Very important. Where X over Y start from 0.3, then only consider shading device. Which means that, let's say this is 4 feet, right? This is 1 feet. 1/4 is less than 1/3. Correct? It's not a shading device. 2 อันนี้ put the coping for 2 the developer tell you waste money but architect says 2 aesthetic the art of but anyway you need to have at least 1/3 in this case half then you get that at least 1/3 once you have, which means that if you go to 400 versus 1002 then become 1/3 lah. Once you 1/3 you fall into this category then there are values to put in the calculation. If you don't have that, it's not a shading device. Hence, you don't have a value. No value means 1 because lower better. So everything must be 2/1. Must be at least 1/3. Anything less than 1/3, stop sendiri. So very important. So now my question is, if like that, how? If you like that, is calculate the whole. The shading device up here is shading the wall. Shading device is supposed to shade the glass, not the wall. If it's like that, based on the lowest point, okay. So which one better? Same, because which one better? Obvious lah. Because in calculation it's based on this, but in reality, it kena also lah. Okay. So samples, calculations. This is the OMS, is the new MS calculations. This just now is the horizontal, this vertical, also 1/3. Also 1/3. Anything less than 1/3 for 2 saja. If it's extend one side also cannot, must be both side. One side pun tipu saja. Calculation. Okay. Which one better? I think concept are more important. Horizontal better or vertical better? Horizontal better. Why? You answer very technical. We are MS people. Because if it's 0.3, the shading devices factor is 0.82 if it's vertical. But if it's a horizontal, I think my next slide slow. Yeah. If it's a vertical, 0.3, 1/3, the shading devices factor is only 0.8. If it's horizontal, it's actually 0.7. There's 10% better. So next time developer asks you, how many percent better? 10%. Okay, very accurate, Instead of agak-agak horizontal. Horizontal is worse than horizontal is better than vertical by 10%. Average. See, here, 7, 6, 10% also lah. Agak-agak lah. In general, 10% lah. Okay. So you know lah, 10% saving lah. If you do horizontal, make most of it do horizontal lah. But so if I don't know, shock sendiri lah, memang lah. 3 meter leh, 1 meter go out. Developer, who your 1 meter can deliver every floor for 50 floor. Aduh, cannot lah. But hypothesically, we do a summary. We do lah. This one low E 51. But if I can deliver 1 meter, the year gone already. Then the OTTV got 47. Pass, but get 1 point only. Low E 2 points. Okay, pass gotten pass lah. Correct lah. That's why I tell my son very important. 1 meter, but 1 meter koyak 1 meter really koyak a lot lah. Okay, every floor, if it's certain areas still can, right? Every floor and one end to one end and 2 facade lor. More 搞笑 okay. This is all right. Now it's an N. N is called acrylic lah. Everybody knows this is a calculation, won't bog you down, right? So this is N. Very important. When there's an N, it starts with 0.2, not 0.3. Instead of 1/3, 0.3 is 1/3 it's 1/2, 20%. You have a 10 feet, I need only 2 feet can deliver, no need 3 feet, no need 1 meter. 2 feet 600 Gautim. Because it's acrylic. You're shading a box, time building. So you can do that. So the drop 20%. So when people say acrylic better than horizontal, yes, how many? 0.2, 0.3. Calculation to start with, case to case basis, correct? For instance, horizontal and vertical in consistently 10% reduction. So, example, if I tambah this one, how? If I tambah this one low E only horizontal, if I horizontal 1 meter and vertical 600, architects we express horizontality, then the vertical will set in a bit otherwise it become a toolbox correct. So that's why is this one longer than this one and then different color lagi. If you combine it, can 44 2 points. So which means that you don't know your E, you can do your reduction of window, same. You don't do your reduction, I want all this view, you cantilever 1 meter and cantilever 2 feet on your side, 1 meter in front, same. The heat that goes into your building reduce the same on calculation without losing low E. So you calculate low E more expensive than the thin more expensive. Sunscreen. This is a question asked. So I need to answer. Sunscreen is like that, right? Screen in front, screen in front, not horizontal, not vertical, right in front, smack in front, like that. The calculation is very simple. Void 30%, you times 30% to your equation of that SC equation. So the void 30% means, let's say our 2 inch, correct? Then you have a gap of 6 inches, 30%, 1/3, 2/3 around there. The void 30%, then so if you have void 30%, the SC is times 3 based on the void. Simple, right? So if I add a screen of 70% void, one screen, void, screen, void, screen, 1/3, 2/3 70% agak-agak Screen, void, screen. So it's 50, 100, 50, 100. Very commonly used, right? This spacing. So if I do that, my no E also. So you versus screen, cantilever, horizontal, vertical, low E or size or your size, window size. Can be done. Next question. Which shading device more effective and cheaper? Screen better or horizontal and vertical better? Screen better. We have the next question. Why? I know screen better. I think most of the architect knows that. But why? Remember, horizontal is 10% better than vertical. Next one. But why think better? We know yeah. Why? Because everything goes back to the MS. MS is all there, I think the next slide ada Yeah. Vertical, once you cantilever 2 times, cantilever 2 times means I have a 10 feet, right? I cantilever 20 feet. What's so that one? Not Jaya, they kill you, Correct? Wow, that one really so. You do that, your factor is only 0. You times 0.6 only. The ratio is reduction. The lower the better, right? Even you have an 8 click, the most you can get is this. For my screen, I can screen 90% can, right? The screen match, the lobang very kecil one, right? It's only like 20%. So I can screen up to 80%, where here I can't. Here, 60% only, 60%, 70%. If you want to screen more effective, then this is a better option. I want to screen more. Okay, but you don't screen the entire building right? Up to you guys okay. But screen is definitely more because there's a limitation on the screen cantilevered to max up the percentage. Here, no limitation. I can have total blackout pun boleh. When I have total blackout, I have the options of open and close. The design is for total blackout. Very important. Everything close, go. Screen, totally screen. Correct. Then I can open. Correct. It's designed for totally screen. So with that, the NP option much better to have screen. Avoid between the screen, the lobang, the lobang. Which is cheaper? Yeah, you guys know lah. So so there are options there lah. Sunscreen. The next one is penetration of grass. So the first one, 1, 2, 3 accounting, the orientation, the window and shading. I think this one very much in our hand. Orientation is our hand. How I place my building from day one. Window, how much window I want to design. Shading, how I want to shade this window is all in our hand. I start with 1, 2, 3. I tell you why it's not just 1, 2, 3. Yeah, later. Penetration, U value of the glass. Compared to this all. This now is SC value. Now U value. The lower the better. Once you select the SC, the U value will come out. They are together. This one lower, this one lower, this one higher, same. Okay, so no need to concentrate. Okay, U value better or SC value better? Which one to concentrate? U or SC? They're husband and wife, right? Which one to tackle? Only 2 questions. I answer that question too. Okay, actually, same answer. One. I tell you why. U value of just now, this is the U value of the glass. This is U value of the wall. No issue lah. In standard, U value of the wall is this all given to you. You can use it as example. Different thickness, different, all different one. This is just an example. Don't use it before and say Michael King says so. Jangan. Kena hantam. No, I didn't say that. It's a default number for this purpose, this project. Okay. What is the U value for cavity wall? My U value is the heat conduction through. I presume you know all this now because this one has been talked about for many times already. Here's about concept. Conduction through walls. This one conduction. Conduction means conducts. Cavity wall, other conduction. Get one in the middle, right? So the conduction actually comes through beams on top, the slab. So the conduction is lesser. So there's no default because it all depends with your grid and what is your floor height and all this stuff. So you need to calculate. If you Google in your website, Google what is a capital U value? It came out one, the other one, other default, those are typical 8-meter grid and 3-meter wall, 2-meter height, but not all like that one. Because the conduction is through area that no air gap. You think no? Color. This is very important. This is our control also. The walls, our walls are either brick wall or steel wall. How many people use cavity wall? Virtually zero. Virtually zero. Ada very kurang. The rest we know already. These 3 we know already. This one is coming husband and wife together. This one is either brick wall or steel wall. Color is very important. These are the color factor. The lower, the better. Same. White is better than black. Okay. OTTV 40 something, right? This is based on white color building, 50% wall, right? But change it to black, not black, dark gray. Change it to here, this 60%, 60, this is 72. I use 70 in between these. A lot. That's dark gray color, Why? In between here also, lucky. If I do that, 0.7, 0.7 is between these two. 0.7. PCB becomes 2. I do everything about the glass, but I like black. So how? I like black. You like black, then you have to pay for more price to low E plus shading device plus sunscreen, but low everything out to just because you like black. To paint. Yeah. You scope. Metal. Okay. There are many ways, but in general, having a darker facade will opposite. Okay. So My question is, why jump so high? Because 70% of my thing is actually wall. Correct? 30% glass. So I change, it's only changing 30%. Correct? Then 70% is wall. When I whack the wall, the price, the thing went up. So I'll go back to here, the initial start. Wall, window, smaller, better, smaller, better. If you use white, no issue. The moment you use the different color, you're whacking your own stuff. Okay? So it's all come in hand, the percentage. So this is the question I want to pose. The solar heat gain through window, the conduction through window, and conduction through wall. The percentage is very different from what TBI gives. Okay? This is through the project in our office, the statistics in our office. So this is not what I say is overall, but from our office is very different from GBI. Okay, how they get it? You have to check with them. This is only 60, 50 to 60, 30, 20, 10. So the more should any 10% affect based on 50-50. If it's based on 32%, 70, then this one will increase more. This is the whole thing about 50-50. Okay, so the glass, why I start with 1, 2, 3 first? Because this is the most important. Then second important, third. That's why I calculate it. I'll do this first. Okay, and this the U value more important or the SC? The SC lah, because of this. So the first thing you need to do is tackle this one first, then tackle this one, then tackle this one. Okay. The summary. Just now all the options that we do. The thing is, it's never a single option or single solution. You can have smaller window, a little bit of hood, a little bit of screen, different color. That's where the complexity comes in. If you're single, yeah, easy. This one also, Excel also can calculate. But if it's not single, that is where to hit 42, what are the things required? 44, what are the things required? Okay, so this is merely an example of if I low E, if I no low E, what's the window? HD means original device, particular device, front screen. What are the options to hit this? If I don't do anything, use the low E, I actually fail if I use black color. You know what to do, Okay. Case study. Okay. Just now it's OTTV. Everybody knows. Okay, everybody knows. Now is call it advanced OTTV. Where the auntie and uncle wanted to see, because OTTV auntie and uncle cannot see. How to use auntie and uncle things to screen your building, and more important, what we can do. Right? So shell state, very complicated. Okay, very complicated. Won't go through. I don't want to go to detail today. You will take me days to finish all the detail. So I won't. Cell shape, very simple. My building shape, my building. Okay. All tools don't rely on neighbor door because neighbor door is beyond your control. Okay. My building shape, my building. If I have a west block and a second block here, this building is top. Very simple. Everybody knows. The calculation has to do that in the factor because it's between the developer. So we can design to self-block. Okay, like that. Inside there all shade. How they shade, how they calculate. I wanted to go through, but I don't think that. These are cell shade. So once it's cell shade, for example, this the red color are shaded. When in calculation, all the red color are considered wall. No SC, no U value, all 0, all become wall. If your building is white color, counting. Okay? If it's black color, still no issue because it's shaded. Okay? How the shade, how the calculation are there, but not going to. Okay? But in general, you can check your building. Okay? Use your building to check your building. That's more important. Including courtyard, including courtyard. So all your light well that we design high rise, only the ratio is always almost 1 to 1, almost 1 to 1. top is actually where top is this. X and this is 1 to 3. Your opening is 10 feet, 30 feet, bo kena. You calculate anything, tak kena. In general, the top 3 floors, daylight, no issue. The top 4th floor and below onwards, oh yeah, everybody noticed that, right? So this is the actual calculation. So the first 3 top, no issue, because of this. Okay. Time center, acrylic, cell shade, right? Cell shade, right? This is how you calculate. This is a cell shade. This is a cell shade, OTTV 45. If we include the cell shade into calculation, it's 42, 6% reduction. Okay. So in OTTV calculation, in general, we know that the cell shade will help. In PAM building, it will be 6% because of the void, but it can be more if you know how to cell shade. Including this, what is what is not, this one can, this one can, this one can, in general lah. Okay. What can, what cannot, all in your slides are. Number 2, cell shade between our control. Vertical green, that is where the auntie uncle want to see lo. Cripple by gravity, tau lah. I won't go through this one. Cripple will match, tau lah. Cripple will cable, tau lah. This one, this is in Penang, you know. This job is in Penang. But I say in everywhere also got lah. H2O panel, hydroponic. Okay. Felt lah. Pot, a lot of pots. Okay. Mostly interior lah. So in general, there are 6. These 3, no need to tuck up. You know what to do. These 3, what are the benefits, advantage, and disadvantage? I'll go through H2O, felt, and pots. This is water, hydroponic. This is felt, which is using felt. This is pot, this is actually soil inside. Okay. Every single thing of this needs a system. Whereas this one no need. This one a plantable on top, a plantable below, gouting, gong. Easiest. Okay. It does help in facade. I'm going to ask you. This is a screen, right? Yeah, no horizontal, vertical, this is screen, right? How to calculate the screen? It's based on the openness of what? In this case, the openness we estimate, let's say, is 70%. This one, if you put a hole, maybe 10% only. So it's based on estimation on that. So you get the factor. So this is 10%. This is 90%. So the void is times void. So it times 0.9 into the whole equation to get. We usually do less. Just in case the thing die, accessor go then, ayo, chala, cannot pass. Correct. So we usually the buffer one. Okay. So that's how we calculate. This one easy. This one easy. This one, it all depends. God wanted to give rain or not. Okay. This one easier because it's in system. The system needs to be maintained. Correct. But it's more control. Okay. So these are building with, you mentioned which building, this one, where you have vertical green to further screen the this one, they have sunscreen, they have horizontal and vertical acrylic plus the vertical green. Oh, this OTTV must be damn good, right? You see the shading devices is so long, and this other lagi, this acrylic lagi, other one, we can do lah. Okay, not going through that. So, but the whole idea is we need to target screen. In this case, it's random because of the aesthetic. The screening itself will really make really do the job. This one, simple, the planter boxes option. This one is with the hydroponic. This is with the hydroponic. So this one screen this facade. This one short only. Why? It's always a why. I short only. Short sendiri, architect short sendiri. No, that
the one city sense we are looking at now. Right. The intention of this building is to increase the green ratio, not to shade the glass. The shading is only shading the glass. No need to shade the wall. The wall is only 10%. In a different color, 搞掂收工. You are shading the wall. Still has an impact because this is considered a shading to wall. You times a factor to the wall. But the wall is only 10%. So you have times, let's say 50%. Then it becomes 5%. You're dealing with 5%, not the 60%. I change the low glass here, 搞掂. But it still helps. But in this case, architects see things in totality. They want to increase the green ratio. With hydroponic, they want to makan also. So it's different concept. It does help. It does help. But the impact will be greater if it's screening the glass behind it. Impact better based on the formula. Okay. This one not done by architect. So this one, why this one, you look at the plant here and the plant here, both are detached from the wall. Okay, I don't speak with landscape architect. I don't mean that. From my experience, it needs to be detached because if it's attached, the moisture, the mold, you're actually getting. So it's actually detaching from the experience that we do is much better. So there's a detachment. I think for detach, you see this bracket. This one can see obviously detached. So it's all detached. And then for the plant to grow as well. So it's actually detached from the wall to screen. So vertical green in general, food system. If it's using the system, not the planter method, make sure it's detached. And I prefer the irrigation through hydroponic because you can have pumps, rainwater, you can use rainwater, and you can do the fertilizer through the rainwater and irrigates. If it's on pot, you still can irrigate, but this is through irrigation of stream of water that running through. It's easier to control. Also less messy, no soil. PIPV. If you cannot see the PV panels on top of the roof, then use PIPV. Why not commonly use insulation? Expensive. Yeah. Also effective. You know, you need to turn certain angle on top, need to face south and north, and this is facing east and this is facing south. Half of the sun gone, so the effectiveness not there, coupled with more expensive, then not very commonly used yet. So, but this PV panel actually shades the building and it's actually sunscreen. It times the factor of the opening. So it actually does help to reduce. Can. If it's pattern and I didn't mention there's SC4 on the opacity of the screen. The screen doesn't need to be fully solid. If it's opaque where lights and comes in, usually will times white area, right? You actually times the opacity to bring lights in, factor all these figures in. No, because metal wall, there's a gap. There must be a gap, and that gap through convection is actually rise up. Usually 3 feet, about 300. Anything too close, it will, then we need to do a simulation. Anything around 100, the heat will actually rise up. Water. I mentioned just now, water. So these are PIPV common. Use water to cool down the building. Our food court, water on top, roof, mama, come down. It does help, right? Yeah, it does help. In this case, using water, using concept water. This one is a mist pipe there, This pipe, when you on, you actually can reduce the ambient over there. BMW Group Pavilion London, the whole thing is actually warm. How to calculate this? Cannot you do simulation. This one beyond Excel.
Excel cannot reach this level. We need to do simulation and how the building actually can cool down to the water. Cannot. These are the things that we can do. Number 5, recycle. Inside there are air bubbles. Air are actually trapped air is actually good for insulation. How to calculate? Same thing. You need to do things that cannot do simple Excel. Okay. 5, you do 5, the uncle 5, the auntie 5. Okay. 3, the PVs, the the water, the recycle, one more lah. There are 5. These are the 5 things that they want to see. Daylight. Or green wine bottle, the H one better. The U value much better. The U value is always opposite on the price. So we have 20 years, tak boleh. 100 years one, the U value very good. 5 aces, you know what's 5 aces? If those of you watch 到天起來，各位觀眾五條煙就喺度。5 aces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, silent you know. We call it 5 aces because it used their 5 fundamentals that the auntie uncles did that. Looks familiar, right? This reading. This is a time competition that we submitted. You're helping the company 13 years ago. So 13 years ago. So these 5 15 years ago or 13 years ago already silent already. Okay. I have not seen a building that are using this 5 so far. Okay. The first one in general concept. Don't worry, all will be given. In general concept, greenery. So you can see greenery ada lah. So it's actually pockets of greenery over there. Second, daylight, full glass. Okay, but because of the screen, there's a factor to leave it. 3, PIPV. At that time, I actually increased the gas PIPV over here. 4, water. The water is actually used to irrigate the building as well as to cool down the building. And the water actually have 2. The toilet used to goes down to this vertical horizontal wetland. The wetland will reduce the particle of contamination and goes to a lower ground suction tank. It pumps back and then used for irrigations. Whatever water used excessively, there will be a generator here to generate the energy for the pump to pump up. During rain time, all the pump pipe will actually help to increase the energy, so you can save the energy. As water, the last one is recycle. So recycle water lah. So this is the main concept of the facade, where you do not need to use one. You can start 2 kali 5 pieces into yin lang. So that's it for concept. Now we go to the roof. A roof, in general, double roof, insulation through as turf, insulation as water, raised deck, or normal insulation rigid form. In general, everybody use the rigid form. Some use double roof, some use turf, some use water, some use. In general, these are the roof insulation. Double roof, same thing. Why double roof is exempted from U value calculated? This one I need to put some of the assessor in some of the tools. They actually ask us to calculate the heat conduction from a double roof. Then I ask him as a him, what do you mean heat conduction? Heat conduction. Cavity wall, heat conduction. What heat conduction are you talking about? It's radiation. In radiation, in calculation, is heat conduction through wall, heat conduction through window, and solar radiation through window. This is a roof, not a window. If a solid wall is conduction, when there's no conduction, There's no value. How to calculate? Obviously, that person got out. Okay, but doesn't matter. That is why double roof is exempted. You guys should know why double roof is exempted, because double roof is calculation by U value. And if you go to Google, what is U value? Is production. They have radiation. Sure, Ada. After you conduct, you heat up, then the heat comes down. You can feel here, right? Because it's double roof, right? This radiant heat will hit the slab here, and there's radiant downstairs. But GBI says that, if this is more than 1 meter and there's an airflow, the radiation heat will disperse. Therefore, no need. If it's anything less than 1 meter, yes, then you need to calculate. Anything more, if it's a bubble roof, 2 layers with water tank in between, close both eyes, no need to calculate. Sure can one. Okay? I'm sure you guys know you're standing below a rain tree, calculate already, right? No need to calculate U value of a rain tree. What for? Okay, so these are the rigid form. Everybody knows also question posed to me. Leaking problem, right? So this is what we do. It is real project that we do. We put an insulation sama. There is a pipe. My fault. Really cannot see. I also cannot see. Not even. No durian. Water goes out. Make sure this is not a scupper drain. I saw a lot of mistake done is a scupper drain. Scupper drain water overflow. The water go back inside. Lucky chalat, it accelerates the waterproofing issue. Correct? So it's actually a pipe for water to go down. Make sure it's a scupper drain. Okay, in this case, take a lower you can actually have because we wanted a flat below So it should be a scupper drain. It's a RC flat. Then the water goes down. Then no issue. But maintenance how? Going out, right? It's a PC slab on top. Who says must be a water? Who says it must be a street to street on top and close everything? You never say so. Nobody says so. I don't know who started must street. Who says so? The calculation of U value is through a material that receives heat to go down. In this case, this panel, this guy, rigid form. Why this panel must be covered by a screed? Nobody says so. Just put a PC slab on top. In between PC slab, put gravel or aggregate or PU coat, whatever you want. And if you need to cut the foot or take out the gravel and take out this panel and repair. No one said cannot. Yeah. So of course, once it leaks, then you need to take out. You just take out a PC slab and cut the whatever here expansion joint or any PU or gravel. We have done many options. It's up to the person. As long as you can take it out without hacking the slab, then count him. So can be done. Hello. Yeah, I was. Not true. Not true. It's not better. It's very close. Very close because you see the heat is to reduce when you are using here. So this heat stops here, and whatever heat that's still able to transfer, it transfers to conduction. When this is heated up, it radiates down. Well, if this guy is below, the heat actually heat up, radiant heat up this wall, and it conducts down. And of course, it's stopped by this wall also. This insulation. The difference is the heat I stop from here. By the time I reach this concrete that goes down, it's already 6 degrees shorter from our calculation. Okay, case to case basis. Don't quote me, please. I can say 6 degrees. No. Case to case basis. The one that we did a simulation, this guy, the heat come here is actually when they put here, the difference is 6 degrees through a wall. So when it radiates out, lesser you're not touching all the time. Move some more, up there. So by the time it comes back, the impact is much lesser. All right. But it's not better. It's slightly worsen from the calculation. Yes, putting it below can be done, but the assessment body want a simulation because it's too bridging, keep bridging through the slabs more than the usual. So this one can be done. No issue. We have been doing it. Next one is bulk insulation Sembawang Tower. The issue is compression. When you compress, you have less effectiveness. This one everybody knows. Radiant barrier in reflective insulation, everybody knows. It's just that it must be 90% radiant heat or the emittance level must be less than 0.05. Very important. And this product, metal is good in conduction. Correct? The sun shine this thing will radiate more heat into the building. Correct or not? That's why it must work with an enclosed airspace. Very important. The product itself is not an insulator and low R value. Low R value is the balik, it's U value, it's high in R value, U value. It must work together with airspace. This it does help. Bubble foil has an air gap in between two layers. It helps. The percentage, the U value, R value is around this bubble foil, maybe 0.5. This one is 0.06. If it's insulation, it could be 1. So you need to play around. I'll show one example later. Without spilling space, the calculation currently GBA height doesn't have, because in calculation it's always the attic space. Without the attic space, the calculation is lesser. Rule of thumb, half the value. Rule of thumb, not actually calculated. You need to simulate half. Without the ceiling, the thing took half gone already. Yeah. No, actually, it's the high visibility. The low visibility.
Whereas if you buy a low usually in the longer run because it actually lower. That's the difference.
Like in the about 30 years ago, where we don't have double layer foil yet, we have single layer, right? For single layer, it was actually suggested that you put the reflective layer facing down rather than facing up.
Face up or face down, it all depends on the composition of the roof. It must work together with an enclosed airspace.
If your enclosed space is up, you face up. If the enclosed space is face down, it's down. If it's an enclosed airspace up and down, use a double-sided. If you are enclosed airspace on top, but you use double-sided, you actually waste money because the bottom part cannot work. It only works with enclosed airspace together with the reflective insulation. It's an attic, then you can face down, no issue. By the way, Prima also do the calculation, right? For this. So if you cannot call the full plaster, you can call them. They will help you to calculate. Okay. Conscious single double mention if the space is too big, there will be a convection. Once the convection comes in, you need to calculate directly got dust or the calculation. Okay, spray insulation. The only issue is consistency. Rigid form, it comes in 50 mm every 50 mm. Bulk insulation, it comes in thickness 50, it comes in all 15 unless you compress it. A radiant barrier already have a thickness. This one, it all depends on spray, you know. If you spray lesser, especially the corner not spray, then the heat will complete that. So that's the only issue. But the plus point is, bulat pun can spray. Bulat, how, so what I can. So that plus and minus lah. Of course, more expensive lah. So, also leaking, right? Bondet, we are doing it now. Okay, we're using a bondet. After the bondet is a hot slab, we're going on that. After the bondet, then we only use this compensation, the rest drain, steel, or tomorrow on. So what we do is, this part is actually bondet. After the bondet, then everything up is this, and all the floor are all raised. So that you eliminate, basically it's double slab, but a bondet itself will actually help. So the bondet also need to fall, just in case water comes down, they actually fall to a scupper drain or scupper drain which is concrete or not using street or asbestos. Water need to fall a little bit. Has to, because if the metal, the bondet is not ready to fall, anything goes wrong, it will torn inside. You know. Just now, 5 pieces, right? In right? It is fixed. The roof as an insulation and water as well. And it actually opens up for lights to go through to the top floor, which now the top floor can be certain area. So this is concept. Okay, combination, we can actually combine. We have done many calculations. The best is combine in bulk insulation into the package. Most economical and the either the wool or the fiberglass no brand together with the package insulation. This composition, okay, it's supposed to be a stack spacer this calculate this was done ago so either use this ceiling, the ceiling over here, or we have an opening at the ceiling. Either way, all hit the requirement. Once you combine it, where very common Berlin house insulations, park insulation, reflective insulation facing down, already nothing difficult. Okay. Some of the projects that we did. ECA Act. People say ECA is Energy Efficient and Conservation Act. Nothing to do with us, right? There's a relationship between PEI and OCPP. We actually can contribute to their reduction of PEI. This is a project that we do for the calculation, case to case basis. Not every building has it. So what we can do is we calculate the OTTP and the PEI, and then from there, what is the reduction as I'm seeing at this thing, your BE will go down. So that is the relationship based on case to case basis. Okay, so to say the architect don't have any impact, not totally correct. Other but how much? Yeah lesser compared to aircon. Agree. Okay. Applicable only 8,000 building and above. Fine up to 10,000. I forgot to put the word yearly. You don't do every year, they'll whack you 100,000. Yearly. This is ECA, not the FTTP national level. Gazetted, going to propose amendment gazetting, I think July. Implement 2025 January. Any building that 8 and 4,000, if you don't meet the requirement, 10,000 yearly. Already gazetted actually. Already this app is already gazetted there. I have this information download gazetted already. It's nothing new. Only built, but it's already gazetted. But they are changing some wording 5-star is what BI is what they're looking for. Failing, so you failing I think 3 at the moment. I don't have the detail yet. Then you meet the requirement. So make sure as an architect here, we do our part to reduce the energy through the facade. in through the facade in order to reduce the energy, because that is a very good thing. Then for the first round next year, these are the fixed: education, office, hotel, data center, retail, healthcare. Basically, all the big commercial building. The next slide, very important. The next slide is cost management. Seven technical group members that help to advise them the government. Huh? Sorry? During no problem. Only one architect. Yes, I advise them on the site. Based on all the statistics. Your 10% horizontal will get them a bit. Okay, so that is easy. Very important. You need to know. Okay, it goes back to this one. I started off with this. I think I'll end with this. Silver and gold and RE 50%. I understand because it is the key initiative to have the renewable energy and initiative to have GBI goal by 2020 onwards, and this is the latter. To go for GBI gold or silver or green RE, silver and gold, I think no issue. It's about sustainability. Whether compared to Apple and Apple on paper based on overall view, no lah. But you're based on prerequisite, then you have to change the case study. May not be green RE is easier. May not be. Okay, because there are a lot of prerequisite where GBI only one. Okay, the buffet style shift to GBI once you have all the prerequisite. So it's what and where, what you do and what project. Case to case basis. Okay, but for the percentage, you can see just now what we're trying to wear. So going to silver and gold, no issue. Is how much the developer want to spend and the direction of the state. The next one, I haven't go to that yet. That's on GBI. The 50% on common area. Statistics. All these are from our company, 14 years of statistics. The statistics shows that for general, for a slab block residential can, because a slab block a lot of roof area. Okay, slab block, one lift for 14 units, one floor. It depends on the land, of course. No issue, because the common areas energy use versus the roof area. Okay, for a point block, okay, close to impossible. 118 year X. A building where you come out semi-D, 2 points, 2 blocks, two unit or 4 blocks. The roof is too small to cater. That's where your other methods to come in RE, which is your PIPV, correct? But the PIPV, how to put it into your balcony or your room where it belongs to the building, correct? Green case depends where you go. So it's getting tougher if it's or very tough or close to impossible to have roof to cover for the 50%. Of course, you can use PV, you can use a lot of items that you can generate, but the norm in Malaysia now is still PV. They're talking about a norm. You want to invest on non-norm, plenty of non-norm you can invest. There are actually paver that you can walk. As you walk, you actually provide generate energy. If you're talking about that, then anything also can. Correct. So, but let's talk about norm now. So I think it's tough. For commercial building, 50% possible. So for commercial building, 50% is really a lot. It depends. If you're a clubhouse, an open air resort, you can. If it's a fully aircon shopping mall, yeah, agree. That one not part of the syllabus for today. I don't know how to answer. I'm going for green angle. how to define common area, because yeah. We try to keep places it's a good initiative, no doubt. Support, but it's tough. For commercial, it's really tough. Chỉ có typology à. Okay. That's it. Same slides. Thank you. Oh yeah, and sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Ceramic paint. Heard of it? Get the U value better, because the U value is where it goes through a third party testing in Malaysia, Sirima. So it goes through the testing. After the testing, they verify what's the U value. So they know what is the reflection of heat through conduction through this material. Resistant, we call it resistant. So with that, then we can quantify how good is this material versus that material, the same thing. So without the U value, it's better. Sending below a range is better, but it's quantified that. So I think the supplier what need to do is look for testing lah. Not difficult for testing on the heat transfer through external source and internal. Oh, hi. It does, but chances are you can't achieve the this that concrete, then insulation, then one layer of assurance travels. Yeah. Oh, no insulation. Likely you will. Can because between the gravel, there's actually air particle. Air particle when it's enclosed, not moving, that itself is an insulation property, but the number is lesser. And you know that if you take the bottom part, air enclosure, they call it enclosure, but it's more stagnant. The first 1 cm is not. So we can actually calculate that based on percentage and have an average. Cannot do through Excel. All these things need to have a special calculation and special animation. But the answer is can. The answer also likely you'll fail. because the air that you're looking at the roof as an example for the metal or the house roof, the air gap that you're looking at, in general, you need 20 or 25 or 30 or 40, depends on what you have inside combination. And depends whether radiant barrier or reflective. We're talking about minimum 20 or 30 air space in Paru you can do. All your little pocket, I don't think can meet up with that enclosed space. So the insulation property will be other, but it's much lesser compared to the existing. Any other before we go makan? Time, Hi. Lead play any role? The GBI team back then studied lead, green star, and green mark. After they study, they localize based on the needs, priority, culture, climate to develop GBI. So the answer is they actually refer to lead, yes. But they do not play any formal involvement in the development of this. Okay, to get the slide, get from Pam. I sent already, ma? Sent already. Yeah, the one that I sent to you, same. So feel free to use whatever info you require. Always mention case to case basis, not blanco everything. For anything you don't call the Go Busters. Thank you.